I'm back from London, baby! Before I went away, I was streaming some Digimon card openings, when a great supporter of the channel, Tredavian, asked me a question which led us down a rabbit hole. We've got the Royal Knights, we've got the Olympos 12, who reside or have domain over the Iliad. We have the Demon Lords, who kind of have domain over the Dark area. But there's a lot in the digital world, from the Metal Empire to the Jungle Troopers and beyond, including the Deep Savers. And to this day in Digimon, most of those fields or areas do not have their own group to represent them. Instead, just a mishmash of Digimon who are tagged with each area or field. Which led me to today's video and potentially a new series, exploring what it would be like if each of those areas got their own Royal Knights equivalent. And we begin today with Deep Savers, by giving them their own group, the Seven Seas. What is up, digital companions? My name is Karn EX and welcome back to another video. And yes, today we are creating a Royal Knights, a superpower group, Justice League, maybe not Justice League, for the Deep Savers field or group. So I want this to be kind of an aquatic group of Digimon. The Seven Seas is the name we're going for. Pretty sure Brandon from Pragmagic came up with that one. These would be Digimon who, yes, reside and preside over the Deep Savers area, the net ocean maybe more generally. I got a couple of caveats here. They must all be members of the Deep Savers already. Sometimes in Digimon you'll get the odd outlier where something looks like it should be part of a field and it just isn't. And ideally all mega level Digimon, though even the Royal Knights and Demon Lords have some exceptions to that rule. And the first most obvious member to me is Neptunemon. If there was going to be any Digimon associated with the net ocean, Deep Savers, some sort of Atlantis style home base, it would have to be Neptunemon. However, yes, I see our first problem, and that is that Neptunemon is already a member of the Olympos 12. We'll explore this a little bit later because it gets much more poignant, but I think it's kind of okay for a Digimon to be in two groups. Just because Neptunemon is in the Olympos 12 really to me shouldn't forbid him from being in other groups, especially when one is literally a group of 7 underwater aquatic Digimon. Him not being in here would be much more stupid in my opinion than him being removed just by virtue of being in the Olympos 12. Funnily enough, another Olympos 12 member, Dianamon, is also part of the Deep Savers. I guess the moon's connection to tides is what they were thinking there. If you really for some reason don't want Neptunemon in the Seven Seas Deep Savers group, I suppose Vikemon would also be fine. And from one Digimon already in a group to another, yo ho ho! Ancient Mermaidmon. Yes, she has a similar issue because she's a member of the Ancient Warriors 10, but again to me it would feel completely wrong to exclude her from this group. To have her and Neptunemon not be in a Royal Knights of the Deep Savers would just be ridiculous. Ancient Megatheriumon is also in the Deep Savers field, though he to me doesn't really scream the 7 seas, he screams more the 7 icebergs. But if you really for some reason can't handle Ancient Mermaidmon being on this group, screw it, we've had one Gomamon Mega already on the list, Plesiomon could replace her. But come on guys, Ancient Mermaidmon fits best, right? And our final tricky one of the video, only 5 more Digimon to go, would be Aegistramon. This is our Examon equivalent of the 7 seas. Being comprised of a Plesiomon and Seadramon species data really does make it perfect for this kind of group in my opinion. But it is once again in another group in addition. It's a Deep Savers, which is great, but unfortunately it is already in a group, the Crack Team, who are getting their due in Digimon Seekers right now. However, the Crack Team out of all teams is one of those that just kind of has members in multiple groups anyway. Machinedramon and Metal Seadramon are in the Crack Team, but are also Dark Masters, and Gundramon is in the Crack Team, but is also of course a member of the 3 Musketeers. So I have even less foibles than the already low foibles I had for Neptunemon and Ancient Mermaidmon, but putting Aegistramon in this team. He provide great support, I think, like I say, very much the Examon equivalent of this team. I definitely approach this team trying to go with kind of humanoids, similar to how the Royal Knights and the Demon Lords are comprised of mostly humanoids, but the Royal Knights have got their Examon, the Demon Lords have got their Leviamon. I think it's totally fine, not all of these are fully humanoid. So our next slot will go to Jumbo Gamemon. I think Jumbo Gamemon is just a much less utilized Digimon across the board. It's also a very common Shoujinmon evolution, great member of the Deep Savers. It showed up in Ghost Game, it's been in a lot of video games, Virtual Pets, etc. It's getting cards in the card game. I just think putting it in a Digimon group officially would give it a little bit more merit. It's always felt like a bit of an outsider Digimon. A Digimon that didn't quite have a place to call home other than the Shoujinmon Guapamon evolution line, or branch of that evolution. So yeah, Jumbo Gamemon as a member of the 7 Seas feels right to me. Then is Marine Angemon. It's such a prominent mega level Deep Savers Aquatic Digimon, it of course had to be here. And it's now getting more credence as a kind of leader in the Digimon world, appearing in Digimon Adventure 2020, ruling over an underwater city, which means if it's good enough to lead an entire city of Digimon, I think it's more than earned its place in the Seven Seas. Plus, Marine Angemon's very much an OG, and of course is a prominent partner in Digimon Tamers. It would be kind of fun, I think, to slowly add members of Digimon Tamers to prominent Digimon groups. We've got Gallantmon in the Royal Knights, now putting Marine Angemon in the Seven Seas, it just feels right to me. Andromon's in the crack team too, I'm sure a few other Digimon Tamers partners are also in their own teams. Plutomon is associated with the Olympos 12 and is presumably Alice's Dobermon's Mega. Anyway, with 2 to go, that brings us to the bad boys of the Seven Seas, and a relatively new Digimon, Regalicusmon. Regalicusmon only debuted as recently as 2020 in the Digimon Pendulum Z, and probably more prominently in the Vital Bracelet series, and in my opinion has more than earned his place in the pantheon of Deep Savers Digimon. I think it's incredibly cool that we have this more crustacean, shellfish looking Mega, and something a bit evil for the Deep Savers at the Mega level, as previously the more dark looking Deep Savers Digimon would usually ultimate level like Marine Devimon and Dagomon. I think Regalicusmon would be something of a bad boy of the group, maybe not even wanting to consider himself a member at times. As his reference book states, he's an aloof aquatic Digimon that hates crowds. It is a pirate who repeatedly assaults and plunders the feeding grounds and territories of other Digimon, and also the ruler of the abyss that stands at the apex of the food chain due to its overwhelming power. Its sword, which it made after tearing off a Zudamon's horn, and the giant pincer on its left arm are symbols of awe that strike fear into those who lay their eyes upon them. What a badass! I'm sure sounds on paper like he wouldn't be good for a team, but I think that kind of chaos is perfect. The Royal Knights are always at odds with each other. Whether it's Alphamon and Omnimon, Alphamon and Gallantmon, they're always at each other's throats, and if you look at Data Squad in particular, I love having a bad boy in a group anyway, and I think Regalicusmon is perfect. But that does bring us to our final member, and one that I think if you've been watching for a while, you probably knew I was going to have to add to this group. Our final mega level of the Seven Seas, Surfymon. This dude is one of my favorite Digimon of all time. A weird humanoid shark that surfs the waves. Its reference book says that although it is an aquatic species Digimon, it is a Digimon that has been improved so that it can move quickly even out of water. Its pride is high and it has a lone wolf personality that hates schooling like fish, which is a great fit I think and kind of bridges the gap with Regalicusmon. Surfymon, while not as evil or pirate-like as Regalicusmon, also doesn't like being part of big crowds, but probably has a little bit more humility, a little bit more goodness in him, so could act as that bridge between Regalicusmon and the rest of the Seven Seas. In addition to that, Surfymon was designed by a Digimon fan as part of a competition. I love this scrungly original submission art. So to see a Digimon designed by a Digimon fan become part of, again, a new, exciting Deep Savers equivalent to the Royal Knights or the Demon Lords would fit so perfectly. But that is it, my group, the Seven Seas. Neptunemon, Ancient Mermaidmon, Aegistramon, Jumbo Gamemon, Marine Angemon, Regalicusmon, and Surfymon. I'd love to do this as a series if you think it sounds fun, you know, doing a group for the Jungle Troopers, Metal Empire, etc. I think the Seven Seas idea works so nicely because there's a lot of Digimon that look quite knightly in here that fit, and also there's 7 of them, like the 7 great demon lords, so it fits nicely as a new group. But of course I'll be up for coming up with groups for all kinds of things, not just Digimon fields, but Digimon areas, attributes, whatever it might be that you think would be cool. Huge shout out to my sovereigns, it's Elementary, ZDK14 and Jmon, my Digidestined, my Tamers, my Karn Club, you all keep this channel going. We've been very fortunate and very blessed in the last couple of months that sponsors have kind of been returning to the channel, but not every video can be sponsored, and I wouldn't want every single video to be sponsored, so you guys really do keep the lights on here at Karn EX HQ. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time when we go digital. Bye bye.